Hello, everyone. First one in here, give me a shout and let me know if you are hearing the audio good. Give it a second. I'm going to have a few people jump on in here. Hello, Mr. J. I'm glad you're here. How you doing? Excuse me. Allergies. It's good to see you too, Mr. J. Hey, Squatchy. I might be around a little after this live if you're still up. We can talk about some of what you got going on because I'm real interested to hear it. I'm kind of actually a little depressed tonight because I was supposed to be out watching or out with Snakes on the Plains guys. Hello, my beautiful Tammy. Glad you showed up. I think they may even have the Pemberton boys in tow. I've got a little sneaking suspicion. But I was going to originally head out to Western Oklahoma and road cruise tonight with those guys. And jump in over there, and we were going to go look for some. We were going to target the Massasaugas, just because I haven't seen one all year, and Nate's only seen one. Hey, Desert Wolf, good live for you tonight. Hey, Brutus, glad you're here. Glad you stopped to say hello. But anyway, I was gonna head west and look for a Massasauga. I've kind of been trying for them over on this end of the state last 2 weekends, and really have not had a lot of good luck. Hey, Immortal Herper, glad you're here. But anyway, I had a gout flare up. For any of you that are not familiar with gout, it's technically a form of arthritis. It's kind of similar to having like a kidney stone in your foot, knee, or toe. It can affect your elbows too, but that's kind of rare. It generally hits down in your feet. Um, so anyway, my guys over in Snakes on the Plains decided to hit a different area tonight, and they so they actually kind of came to an area closer to where I was. And if my medicine would have kicked in a couple hours earlier, I probably would have tried to meet them up down there. Me and Snakes on the Plains, we've been trying to hook up all season long, and we just kind of keep, I have this day and they have the next day, and it's just a constant situation of us missing each other. So, you guys in the chat, what are you guys doing tonight? Still waiting on one or two people to jump in here before I dig into it. Hey, Moon over Miami, thank you for showing up. Yeah, and I'm getting reports. I just went on Facebook and looked for a second, and everyone's talking about how the snakes are moving everywhere tonight. we've been at a our temps have been about 10 degrees higher than they normally are for this time of year in the state this last 2 weeks. And we're supposed to have a cold front come in tomorrow night, and it feels like it's coming tonight. I just stepped out in my backyard for a second, and it feels like it's the pressure's dropping and everything, and the temps are still fairly high, but they are cooler than normal, cooler than they have been. I'll say that. You know, kidding, desert all over the south. It's just been hot. That QT, that quick trip, right here. They miss you, D. I was in there the other day, and they said, "Where's desert? Where's the wolf pack at?" And I said, "I don't know where he's at, but I said I'll give you an address, and you can go get one of his hats. You miss him that much, you should buy one of his hats. Guys, go check out Desert Wolf. Buy a hat." See you later, Brutus. Brutus. Autumn, you're in here. Good to see you in here. I cannot remember who asked the question. I want to say it was Immortal Herper. Immortal Herper. I think it was you that kind of like was the reason why I thought to do this live. Autumn is with Hissy Fit Snake Rescue, and she reminded me that, like, in my last live, you asked a question that I didn't answer. And so I kind of felt bad about that because I don't have these huge lives, like celebrities like Desert Wolf Armory have, get thousands of views, thousands of people in the lives. I don't have I don't have a wolf pack. I've got a Todd pack. And it's small, but it's growing. So I appreciate all you tuning in. Venom Wonderful, that's hilarious. Oh boy. Next critter gonna. Never mind. Chameleon. Um, but anyway, Immortal. How did I get started in herping? I think that was the question that I believe Hissy Fits thought that you asked that I didn't answer. So I was going to address that tonight. Basically, where I grew up, Immortal, in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, was a time when it was still a fairly rural community, and so instead of going to daycare or whatever before I was school aged, I stayed with my grandparents because my mom and dad both worked. And my grandparents had some land, and a creek ran through it. And basically, there were a lot of different critters on this land. And so I got to kind of experience a lot of wildlife hands-on when I was younger. And my grandmother actually knew about snakes and which kinds were venomous and which kinds weren't. And in this area, we generally had like non-venomous species. We had decays, we had garters, we had Graham's crayfish snakes, had common snapping turtles, all kinds of different frogs. Wildlife Volendam, Paraguay. Go check out their channel, Wildlife Volendam, Paraguay. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Wildlife. This guy has a great bird channel. I was on it the other night, and I was just like video after video after video. It was just like addictive. Guy has some great footage. Thank you for checking in from Paraguay. I really appreciate you being here. But anyway, my grandmother taught me to read with a book, which was a fictional account of a green snake, and the green snake was named Slim Green. Go to Amazon right now and put in a search for that book. And I still have a copy of it somewhere around here. But if you can find one available, it's probably $85 to $100. It's been out of print since the 60s. And she got it for like a nickel at a garage sale or a book sale. And it was a fictional account of a green snake, but it was also like a biologically accurate book. The book surveyed all these different critters that would a green snake might normally encounter. Red-tailed hawks, common snapping turtles, king snakes, water snakes. And I want to, I can't remember who wrote it, but I've got to say they had some kind of biology type background, because all the facts that were purveyed throughout the fictional story of the book were actually very accurate. But anyway, it was kind of the situation where you could, they were teaching me to read with this book, and I picked up on reading really quick, and was definitely ahead of other kids in school when it came to reading. But anyway, I could read this story about this green snake, and then I could go out in my grandma's backyard and catch 5 of them. This is back when the Texas horn lizard was a very, very common species in eastern Oklahoma. Today they've been almost obliterated east of I-35. And so this tells you this was before a lot of developments, before a lot of pesticides, before the fire ants moved in. Latin Patriot, glad you're here. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. But basically, my grandmother would, or did a lot, to show me how to catch snakes. My grandfather actually, I don't know, he saw on TV that people had snake hooks, and he was a carpenter, and so he actually took a plant hanger, filed it down, and put it into a wooden dowel rod. And that was like my first snake hook that I got like in 1977, or maybe 78. I was 5 or 6, so it was around those times. And basically, my grandmother showed me, she would take it and show me, this is how you pick up tin. You pick it up this way, so if there is a venomous snake under there, it doesn't bite you. You never lift it towards yourself. Yeah, it was total OG hook, Autumn. I wish I still had that. That's one of those things that I wished I still had. But it was like literally like a dowel rod, like a two-foot dowel rod with a plant hanger in it. And it actually made a great impromptu snake hook. A lot better than some of the golf club ones that I've seen floating around. So if you're thinking about a homemade snake hook, you might look at going wood, because this one really held up. And I don't know if it was the material that the dowel rod was made out of, but I know I had it and used it for like 10 years after that. But basically, I kind of grew up in an area where I had a lot of natural exposure to a lot of reptiles and amphibians just from being in the backyard. My grandfather would build his own live catch traps. And like when a possum or a raccoon would get in his barn, he would set a live catch trap for it, and definitely wouldn't kill it. He would, take the critter and go let it loose on the other side of town, which was all woods back then. Today, those are all homes. But my grandparents did a lot to nurture my love for reptiles and amphibians. And even though a lot of people from that generation thought the only good snake was a dead snake, my grandparents were definitely not like that. Thank you, Homestead. They definitely told me about, the role that snakes play in the ecosystem. Hello, Denise. And they would teach me about how, like a rat snake will kill and eat rats, and a king snake will kill and eat other snakes. And my grandmother even knew about like crayfish snakes, how they would stay close to the creek because they would feed on crayfish, and that's pretty much all they ate. And how she learned all that stuff, I don't really know. They hailed from the Cedarville, Arkansas area, and I want to say over north of Van Buren, which is a little north of Fort Smith. And hey, Squatchy, man, all good things come from Arkansas. Let's say that, okay, Squatch? My grandparents were incredibly awesome. I would want to go to the zoo, and my mom couldn't get off work to take me, so they would take me. And that was, looking back at it today, it doesn't seem like a long trip from where I was to where the zoo was, but actually it was all the way across the city. So I'm kind of looking at, my grandparents who would take me to the zoo or take me to an animal park when I found one that I wanted to go to. Um, Definitely was a blessing to me. I was definitely glad to have grandparents who would invest that kind of time into something I was interested in. And my mom and dad absolutely hated snakes. They were terrified of them. I'm not really sure why, because my grandmother wasn't. She would absolutely pick one up and, you know, pitch it out of the garden or something, or, she knew the kinds that were venomous and that weren't. And because they had a lot more venomous where she was from in Arkansas than where they moved to in Oklahoma. We definitely have venomous snakes in Oklahoma, but she lived in a very low populated, rocky place of Arkansas, and there were definitely a lot of copperheads and timber rattlesnakes over there. Hey Kiko, glad you showed up, man. I was telling the wife earlier I've got to start drinking my cherry juice again. Um, I have actually drank the cherry juice before, and I think I just need to keep staying on a pattern of drinking it, not drinking it for a month until the gout goes away, and then quitting. I think that's kind of my thing is I don't do enough maintenance. So, and this is only my second tea of the day. I've been trying to drink a lot of water because ultimately gout pretty much cost me from going herping tonight. And it sounds like it is a good night to be out there in the Sooner State. I talked to Snakes on the Plains earlier, and they're down in South Central Oklahoma, and they've already had a couple of good finds. I don't know that they've hit their target, and I'm not going to talk about their target, but they've already had some finds, and people have been cruising around here for 2 weeks and finding very little. I mean, some people have been having luck, others haven't. Some people, I think it's the locations. You're right. Beer and red meat will contribute to gout. Kiko, interesting fact. I haven't had a beer in about 5 years now, and I love to drink beer. No doubt, that's kind of one of my weaknesses. But I haven't touched it in several years because gout flare up would always accompany it. So I'm not totally away from red meat, but I definitely have given the beer a rest. I think I actually found more snakes when I drank, to be honest. I think it helps your like road vision. I could be wrong about that. Kids, do not use this as a role model for your lives. But anyway, yeah, I kind of wish I'd have been hitting the cherry juice about 3 weeks ago. because, like I said, it totally botched up a good plan, well in advance planned herping trip to a great place. We were going out by western Oklahoma, by the West Oklahoma Texas border, and there's a lot of amazing grassland and semi desert habitat out there. And it just, I pretty much couldn't go. I had to back out of it because of the gout. And so, anyway, everybody went to their second line plans and went on without me. And I'm wishing them the best of luck out there because these guys are trying for a hard target. A target that is seen only about maybe 3 to 4 weeks out of the year in Oklahoma if you're lucky. I'll give you a hint. This Oklahoma reptile they're targeting generally exists on a diet of only other reptile eggs. I don't know that it's even been proven that they will eat anything else. I think they may eat a few smaller lizards if they find them, but generally that's their main diet. That's what they seek after is other reptile eggs. So, you know, that'll give you a little hint. I'm excited about this week though because whether I feel well or not, and whether I'm feeling bad or have to drive with my left foot or not, I'm hooking up with a guy named Edgar Ortega in Oklahoma City. And he was the former president of the Central Valley Herp Society in California. And I'm going to get to spend some time with him. And me and him go back about 15 years, actually. He was involved with some of my early work, some of my graphics designs he handled. He definitely, he's done some narration on some of my videos. And he used to have a much more visual presence in both the field herping and the captive keeping reptile community. And today, he's kind of stepped back from that and he's into martial arts a little more. And I believe he does some podcasts. And I think me and him are going to be in Oklahoma City, and we're probably going to meet up with a special guest in Oklahoma City. I'm not really going to say who, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this happens. So check back in with my next live, and I'll talk about it then if it goes down. You have a good night, Immortal Herper. Glad I could do this live tonight and answer your question. But anyway, I'm kind of excited to be able to be meeting up with Edgar Ortega. Once again, he's done a lot of different things for a lot of different herp groups, and he ran the Central Valley Herp Society in California. I already told you that. But he definitely kind of built that group up and had it going. And he's a good guy to talk to, good guy to hang out with, a good guy to collaborate on projects with. And so I missed him the last time he was out here in Oklahoma, and this time he's in Oklahoma. If I have to take an Uber, I'm probably going to make this happen. Ask him about the Gotcha Desert. Hi Red Bottom, how are you? Hi Iron Dog. Hey Venom Wonderful. I'll have to ask him about that desert. We'll see where that goes. But anyway, I kind of just wanted to do a live tonight. Everybody else was doing lives, and I kind of figured I'd catch some of the traffic coming off of them. Hey J&G Reptiles, good to have you visit. I've been checking out your channel. I'm a fan. J&G Reptiles. I'm a fan. So you know, I just definitely glad Desert Wolf turned me on to your channel. So that was definitely a good find. So you know, I've been definitely been watching J&G. Man, I like the kinds of care packages you send, man, not gonna lie. I saw the care package you sent, Desert. That was sick. That was amazing. No, you're not a slacker, Red Bottom. It's all okay. I'm always coming in lives late, so don't worry about it. Um, Hope you guys have enjoyed everyone else's lives tonight. I've kind of been logging on to them as much as I can. Once again, I'm really depressed that I'm even sitting inside a house in front of a computer, but I mean, these things happen. It was unexpected. I started feeling um, the pain in my foot last night, and I was out herping last night and didn't see anything. Gotcha, Desert. Yeah, no kidding. I need to be out there in Vegas, out there in that area. Um, but I started feeling the pain last night in my foot, and I take this medicine that prevents the pain, or it kind of starts heading the pain off, I'll say, because gout is very, very painful. Um, Anyone that says they've had gout and that it's not painful, I wonder if they've really had gout, because this stuff will disable you. And this medicine kind of starts killing the pain. And but it takes a couple of cycles. You can take it every like 10 hours. And so like I was on my second dose today, and I kind of really feel like I could go out now. I could go out down south and try to catch up with them because they're about an hour from my house. Um, but I probably won't at this point in the night. Red bottom gout is a form of arthritis, and I get it in my big toe. It's a form of arthritis that's caused by your uric acid in your bloodstream being too high, and it creates these little crystals that are kind of similar to kidney stones. So you got to think about like having a kidney stone in your foot. That's about the best way I can describe it. And because it um, settles in my right foot, and that's my driving foot, it does affect even my road cruising. Venom Wonderful, you're herping for lizards behind the quick trip. Gotcha, Venom Wonderful. Good luck with that. Um, we're not going to. Remember, I leave my lives up, Venom Wonderful. Don't say anything incriminating. Right, and that's exactly what gout is. Red bottom is one of the triggers is like beer and wine are definitely high in purinol, and when you drink a lot and you don't drink enough water, it doesn't flush out of your system. You don't neutralize the uric acid, and so therefore you have to have the medication. Hey Yoop, um, hey Homestead. Open-toed sandals and venomous herping don't go well together. Um, I got friends that do it, actually. I don't wear open-toed sandals, but yeah, Venom is going to be dead if his wife sees this. Rachel, you're right. Um, Venom will be dead if his wife sees this. I don't think his wife follows my channel, and nobody send her a link. Nobody help her out. Desert Wolf, prime example, is someone that herbs in open-toed sandals. He flips Mojaves on you when you're wearing open-toed sandals, and it's kind of I know people that do it. Latin, hit me at Wagoner County Snake Hunter, all one word, on Instagram, and I can discuss that with you there. Um, I don't really I really don't know how to do a small fundraiser. I wouldn't have any advice off the top of my head. I can probably talk to some people who do and see if they do that. Squatchy, man, I know who you're talking about, and he's a trip. Um, yeah, I do know a lot of people who go out and walk through the woods wearing open-toed sandals. I wouldn't recommend it, but we know there are those among us who do it. So it's definitely a common theme, and it's people do that. So Latin Patriot, my pool. I'm building a swimming pool, um, and I'm going to be able to swim in about 4 weeks. So I'm going to be getting a little bit more exercise that way. I do some simple weightlifting and stuff at home. I used to belong to a gym, but I kind of got away from that. COVID hit, and then it's just kind of like it became a real pain to do that. Hey, Ariel, it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. But basically, what it is ultimately I need to watch my diet better, consume more water, and definitely take proactive steps like drinking the cherry juice. It's good. It's good for gout. Hey, Boa Man, glad to see you. Glad you jumped in here. It's always good to see you pop up. Bunch of non-West Coast reptile keepers. Oh boy, I can see where this is going. Hey, Desert, you have friends with brown Mojaves. You need to think about that. But anyway, but basically, oh boy, oh boy, we're not even going to go there, Desert. But basically, I kind of wanted to take tonight to do a live. I didn't plan on doing another live like I just did my last one 3 days ago, and Hissy Fits had her eye on the chat and said, "Hey, you missed a question or two." And so that led me to do this, which was how I got started. Basically, I had reptiles in my backyard, my grandparents' backyard growing up. They kind of brought that along. They would take me to the library and help me find books on snakes. And the thought back in the 70s when I was learning to read was, kids will read if you relate reading to something they're already interested in. And my grandparents knew that I was fascinated by the snakes, so they would help me find snake books. Hey, Gummy Bear. And so anyway, next thing you know, I'm getting snake books and animal books and all these things for Christmas instead of toys, and I couldn't have been happier. It's definitely looking back. It was what I mean. I'd unwrap a Christmas present, and a lot of kids would not want a book, but I would get a book on venomous reptiles of the world or something when I was like 8 or 9, and I would just be in heaven, and I would read it twice, and um, just really kind of got plugged in with some of the right people too. A little bit later in my teenage years, I got to know people at the local zoo, and they recommended the Zoo Teen program, which is a program for teenage volunteers, and that was at the Tulsa Zoo. A lot of other zoos have something similar, and I don't know anymore that you get to do as much work with reptiles as you could back then in the mid 80s. But I kind of got hooked in with a lot of the right people, and people who could show me things, who could teach me things. And anyway, I'm not going to run too long tonight. I think I'm sitting around 35 minutes, and I'm probably going to bolt out of here because I just wanted to basically come on and do a live to address that one question, Immortal Herper. Sorry, I missed you in the last live. But basically, that's kind of how it all gets started. Is you're around them, you're exposed to them at an early age, and you enjoy that exposure. And then you have family who are supportive. I know a lot of kids who have wanted to go herping, their parents won't take them. It's kind of sad. It's a good thing that herp society still exists because a lot of them do herp field meetings and things like that. So like, if your parents won't go snake hunting with you, you can go with other people who like to go looking for snakes, lizards, and frogs and toads. And that way your parents aren't exposed to the horrors of finding a live snake, especially if they're from the Only Good Snake is a Dead Snake Club. And so it's definitely good to check into like your local herp societies if you're a parent of a kid who likes reptiles, or if you're a kid who likes reptiles and you see this. Definitely call around, look on Facebook, do a Google search for herp society, and then throw your city name in front of it. If you're not in a city and you're far out in the country, you may be able to just go out into your backyard like I did and find a lot of different herps. I did want to let you guys know that my next regular video is running a little bit behind in production, but I'm kind of trying to get some things in it really, really right. It's based on Marty Stouffer's episode of Wild America. He did an episode called Backyard Wildlife. And what I did during this drought cycle that we had, or this last 2 weeks, which seems like a drought because it rained every day for a month, and now we haven't seen rain in days. But basically, I filmed a lot of animals that were close to my house. On my front porch, on my back porch, in the driveway, things like frogs, toads, scorpions, centipedes. And basically, I'm going to have to run the narration on that and do some introductions and look up some information. So I'm probably not going to have my regular weekly video release coming up this Friday. I might get it done by then. I might not. And hang on a second. There you go, Latin Patriot. Wagner County Snake Hunter, all one word. And that's how it's spelled. So definitely hit me up over there. But the next video is going to be kind of a longer video. I don't even know if there's going to be a snake in it. It's primarily going to be invertebrates and some amphibians. But the focus of it is, animals that you can find very close to home. And animals that you can find just in your own backyard or down at your neighborhood park. Animals that have adapted fairly well to living with us. We know not all animals or all species adapt well to human presence. There are some that do. And urban ecology has always been another fascination of mine. It's definitely very interesting to study how, an animal like a raccoon that may, actually hunt in the wild would scavenge, trash, and how coyotes, red fox, things like that adapt to living amongst people, and how certain even snake species. We all know that, decay snakes, line snakes, rat snakes, they definitely adapt well to being close to humans. Sometimes that sadly gets them killed, but also it's kind of a survival trait. Thank you, Latin. Yeah, I feel really lucky to have had the grandparents that I had. Looking back, if I wouldn't have had them, I don't know that I would be here today, working with snakes, making snake videos, doing the field herping that I'm doing. But gang, if there's no more questions, I'm going to cut out of here, running right about 40 minutes. And I'm going to get back to Snakes on the Plains team and see what they're finding out there, because everybody's blowing up Facebook. I'm getting alert after alert with, snakes are finally moving. Snakes are finally moving. Who knows? I may make my wife get dressed and drive me around with my gout infested foot, and I might make her like eat copperheads in front of the camera. Yeah, I doubt that's going to happen. But anyway, Ariel, thank you for being here. Everyone, thank you for being here. I'm going to go ahead and kill this. If you have any questions, or if you watch this after the fact and have any questions, please know I really want to follow up with any questions. Leave them in the comments below. If you haven't, if you missed the live chat, leave me a question in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer or find an answer. And thank you guys for stopping by. Yeah, I got the eye roll from the driver who eats no copperheads. We'll call her that. Ariel, Desert Wolf, Iron Dog, Red Bottom, Immortal, everybody, Latin, Hissy Fit, Squatch. Thank you guys so much for showing up tonight. I know it was last Homestead, you too, and thank you for that. Been enjoying your channel quite a bit. Guys, thank you for taking the time to watch this live. I know that I kind of do these things spur of the moment. I don't generally have a real structured schedule. Just when I have a topic, something to talk about, I just roll with it, and I kind of feel like it works out better that way. It's not dry, doesn't have a lot of dead air, things like that. But anyway, guys, keep herping, keep YouTubing, keep watching. Please hit the thumbs up if you haven't, and please, by all means, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Wildlife Fallen Dom Paraguay, love your channel. I'm going to be sharing it with some other people. Your bird footage is amazing. I love the stuff you get down there in South America. Definitely go send some people your way. May include you in my next shout out video if I ever do it, or next time I do another one. So thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate you guys being here. I know it's Saturday and probably, you know, a lot of people would have plans and stuff, so I appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and hopefully I'm going to get better and be out there soon. So gang, you take it easy. I'll talk to y'all. Bye.